You guys ready for David Gborie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you gotta sit through 10 minutes of me. Yeah, David Gborie, he's the voice of Comedy Central. Abby Elias, my voice has been described as pumpkin spice Fran Drescher. It hurts you guys laughed that early on. But seriously, thank you guys so much for coming out. Is this anyone's first time coming to see David Gborie? Yeah? Oh, thank you so much for coming, especially the first time. It's so hard to come on the first time. She's making a face like, honey, you have no idea. No, but seriously, but thank you guys for coming out on your Friday night, because I know there's so many other things to be doing on a Friday night, like staying home, watching Netflix. Yeah, there's so much to watch. Because like the new Little Mermaid just dropped on Disney Plus. Anyone check it out? Yeah, me too, I'm the problem. I did rewatch the original, and guys, it still holds up. Yeah, Prince Eric is just as fuckable. He jumped on a burning ship to save his dog. That was so sexy. Ariel grew a vagina just to fuck him. Sorry, learn more. In your village, you eat dogs, and here we fuck people that like their dogs. That's the American dream. Good for her, though. It's fucking hard, though. Yeah, like anyone, like you guys are together, but anyone ever been on like a dry spell? Yeah. Yeah.
I was married.
Same.
Yeah. I love like the emphasis on was. Like anyone here ever go so long without having sex that they have to put up a spirit Halloween in your coochie? Because they do that when you go out of business near October. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's late stage capitalism. Is it just weird, like no one fucking the way they used to? Yeah, like no one wants to work anymore, more like no one wants to fuck anymore, am I right? It's because everyone's on antidepressants. Anyone here ever been on an antidepressant? Yeah, good for, yeah, you guys took the early show. Now that shit lowers your sex drive, like you're going 80 on the freeway and you just drove past a state trooper. I have watched the greatest dick of my generation drop. Just drop to Prozac like it was the fall of the Roman Empire. Don't believe me? Look at what teenagers are watching nowadays. You know, back when I was a teenager, we watched Glee, where you could dream about being a choir star, or Twilight, where you could dream about dating a vampire. Sad, I know, but you know what teenagers are watching now? Euphoria. A show about teenagers having sex. Yeah, that is Gen Z's wildest fantasy. To be in the mood. And to have a partner that is also in the mood. I don't know, call me old-fashioned, but I like to raw dog sex and suicidal ideation. Maybe this is like, it's too close to home with me because my day job, I'm a teacher, so I'm with Gen Z a lot. Yeah, like the last 2 years I taught high school, but this year they moved me to the middle school. And thank fucking God they did. Because I am so sick of being mistaken for a student. The principal of the high school, we worked together for 2 years. On the last day of school, that's when he found out I was staff and not a student. Coincidentally, it's when he stopped trying to fuck me too. It's like, Abby, you just have a very young face. That was the first time in my life as a woman I was offended that a man gave me eye contact. Like, hey, buddy, eyes down here. Because that's where my name tag is. School's fucking wild. I teach English. Like, that's the only thing I could teach. I could never teach sex ed. Did anyone here have the good sex education? That was the saddest. Nope. Look, I'm not saying this country is bad at teaching sex education, but I am saying that if we taught driver's ed the way we taught sex ed, everyone in this room would know every single part of the motor, but no one would know how to get in the car and just fucking drive. My high school was fucking wild. My sex ed teacher in the 9th grade brought in a representative from a crisis pregnancy center to teach us about abstinence. Some of you guys are making some weird faces. Some of you guys don't know what that is. A crisis pregnancy center, for those of you who don't know, is basically Planned Parenthood's evil twin sister that tells women they offer abortions, but just leaves you on for 9 months until it's too late and you have to give birth. And you're just like, well, can you give me money? And they're just like, no outgoing ways! So yeah, our representative, her name was Renee. She was 30 years old and her 15-year-old daughter was pregnant. And Renee got really into it. She wrote a play, and all of us were going to be in the play. She even brought props. She brought out a blanket and laid it in the middle of the class. And the premise of this play is that it was a wedding night. And the groom was played by the quarterback of the football team. And the bride was played by the girl that always wore Cookie Monster pajamas. So they're getting married, and it's their wedding night. Woo! So they're sitting on the blanket because they're about to have one for the first time. But what quarterback doesn't know is that Cookie Monster pajama girl actually lost her virginity to her college boyfriend, who was played by the kid that always wore shorts in the winter. So he's on the blanket. But the entire time they're together, he's actually getting it on with the horse girl that's always braiding people's hair in the hallway without their consent, so she's on the blanket. But she's got a thing with the kid with a peanut allergy, so he's on the blanket. And next thing you know, the girl that's always in crutches is on the blanket. Then you got the kid with no chin that's on the blanket. Then you got the girl that wore the cape the one time, she's on the blanket. And at the end of the most riveting episode of The Secret Life of the American Teenager, the entire class is sitting on the blanket. And Renee goes, This is who is on your bed anytime you have sex outside of marriage. All I learned is what a virgin thinks an orgy looks like. Fast forward a couple years, I actually am having sex. I know. I don't know if it's any good, but I do know I might have an STD. So I think back to that one weird day in the 9th grade. And the other thing Renee told us they did, besides lying to women, is give us STD testing. So I give them a call. Now, I never met the woman who actually picked up the other line, but I do have reason to believe she is Roz from Monsters, Inc. Because this is how our conversation went. Name! Abby? Age? 17? How far along are ya? I'm not pregnant. Why else are you calling then? Do you guys offer STD testing? What do you need tested for? Then Roz hung up on me faster than you can say chlamydia. It's okay though, I went to Planned Parenthood and they aborted my chlamydia before I could give birth to it. And thank God they did, because I'm 27 now. My chlamydia would be 10. I wouldn't be here tonight. I'd be dropping her off at soccer practice. She'd be at home watching Euphoria. Yeah, I gendered my chlamydia. And I named her Claudia. Claudia the chlamydia. And in a couple years, she could have had her own chlamydia. No, she wouldn't. She's Gen Z. She's not having sex. Luckily for me, I found my sex education in other ways, like the American Girl Body Book. Anyone familiar? You're like, don't bring that up. If you're not familiar, in 2006, American Girl published a book for teen girls that taught us all about puberty. Guys, did you have a puberty book you read? Nope. Oh my god, I love that book. It taught me all about periods and acne and wiping front to back. If you're a man, I know that isn't anything, but if you're a woman, it's a UTI, it's a whole thing. But there's one page that always stuck out to me. There are no words, just 5 drawings. First drawing, young girl, she's completely topless and completely flat-chested. Second drawing, same girl, she's a little older and she's got some bug bites. The third drawing, she's in high school now. You're picking up what I'm putting down, right? She was like the very hungry caterpillar. They just kept growing and growing and growing. The last drawing was of a grown woman with what could only be described as anime titties. Ladies, if your anime tits come in yet, because I'm still waiting on mine. Again, men, was this not something you went through? Like you weren't promised that your dick was gonna go from a stick figure to the worm from Dune overnight? And you're just like, well, maybe if I drink my milk, my dick will grow big and strong. Alright, you guys have been great. If you like what you saw here, follow me on my Instagram @itsAbbeyE. Give it up for your incredible host and learn more.